Monkeys Fighting Robots Nation, how you doing? Welcome to Zombie Monkeys, where we talk about everything zombie. This week we are talking about The Walking Dead season finale, season 7, in the books. So exciting. Can't wait to talk about it with you. I got chills. Actually, that's goosebumps. But I got chills too. Alright guys, before we start this episode, I just want to thank everybody who watched episode 1 of Zombie Monkeys and liked it or put a comment on it. We had a few comments, a lot of good dialogue going on there. If you like what we're doing, give us a like on YouTube or subscribe to our channel or comment. I love talking about zombies, so let's talk about The Walking Dead. Since this is a season finale, it's kind of a different approach to this show that we do, because I usually like to talk about what worked, what didn't work, and then the zombie aspect of it, like the special effects. And this episode is a little different. And if you haven't watched the season finale yet, there's going to be spoilers ahead. So, spoiler warning, we're going to talk about the season finale of The Walking Dead, and people die, and we're going to talk about those dead people, and I really hate to break your heart if you didn't watch this episode, but, we're going to talk about it now. A lot of craziness happened in this episode. We got to talk about Rick, we got to talk about Sasha, we got to talk about Negan, and Maggie. Those are the pinnacle of the people that we need to talk about. So let's talk about Rick. Rick did 180 from the season start. The premiere of the episode, before it was broken and he was, he was not Rick. And now 180, he's back to fighting, and he gives Negan the speech. The speech we've all been waiting for. You kill my friends, now I'm going to kill you. You're going to die, whether it's today, tomorrow, in the future, but you're already dead and you just don't know it. That was a brilliant speech. That gave me a little goosies right there, because you're like, oh, look, he's going to baseball bat somebody again with Negan, and Negan didn't do it because you knew that wasn't going to happen. You knew that wasn't going to happen. Nobody else was getting hit with a baseball bat. I thought he was at least going to use the baseball bat in the rest of the episode, but I don't want to dive into all that right away. But Rick was perfect Rick, and he was the Rick that we needed, and the Rick that we deserve, and the Rick that's going to make season 8 that much more exciting, because he's going to be that machismo Rick that's going to help lead the way. But he usually doesn't do it that well, because you saw what happened in this episode with the Collective. And what's up with the Collective? I was just there was some funny moments, some funny dialogues, but that's where the episode became predictable. You're like, the Collective is turning heel halfway through the show. Oh no, Rick's plans are falling through. And you're going to see the episode get to the darkest moment. And at the darkest moment of the episode, oh look, it's Maggie. Oh look, it's a tiger. And that was awesome too. But that's where the show got predictable. But guess what? Predictable worked, and predictable is awesome because it was everything that we wanted from the show. In case you didn't notice from watching the episode, this was a Sasha episode. This was all about Sasha and everything that Sasha had to bring to the table and everything she wanted to bring to the table, and put closure on her episode as she leaves the Walking Dead mythos. Some of that got tedious. Got really tedious. I was like, I get it, Sasha. This is your last episode, and you want to make the most of it. And all this internal dialogue that she was having could have been used better if it was to inspire others. She was inspired by others, and this was her going out in the blaze of glory moment. But nobody else heard that. We heard that. But if the Hilltop, or Rick's group, or Ezekiel's group, the Kingdom, they heard that, then there's oh no, Sasha sacrificed herself, this is going to be the best thing, she saved us all. But we didn't. It was all internal. And that's where I felt like it got tedious. We're okay, oh man, it's just, we're in the coffin, we're listening to music, we're having these flashbacks, she's talking to herself, and then she finally takes the pill. But here's where I was kind of taken away from the episode, or taken back, or surprised, or whatever you want to call it, because I categorize this show, when I talk about it, 3 different ways. I talk about what worked, what didn't work, and then the zombies, and how we were going through the show, and I was like, oh man, we didn't really have a lot of special effects, and I was like, oh, Sasha died. And I don't know how I forgot that she was going to turn into a zombie, but when she opened up the case and came out, I was like, oh my god, she's a zombie, that's her zombie for the day. And then, she looked good in the makeup, she kind of looked a little vampire-ish. But she came at Negan. I was like, ooh, this is gonna be good. We have a lot of tension going on there, and oh man, it was just crazy. It was just crazy when she turned into a zombie. She killed a few of Negan's men. I think she got a few people in there. So she took out some people as she took herself out. So good kamikaze by Sasha. I'm very sad to see her go. She was one of my favorites, but I think her story did come to a complete ending, and they told her story well. She had some ups and downs, and things got complicated. But from where she started to where she ended, I think they did a good job. So congrats to you guys, Walking Dead writers and directors, and Sasha. Amazing stuff to begin with. And I can't wait to see you on that Star Trek episode show that's going on. But, we don't talk about Star Trek. We'll talk about zombies. This season started with Negan, and it relatively ended with Negan. Negan had some of the best liners. Jeffrey Dean Morgan, phenomenal actor. So every time he gives a speech, that's a phenomenal speech. And Negan gives speech all the time. So there's like phenomenal times 52 in this episode, since it was like 90 minutes with about 45 minutes of show and about 45 minutes of commercials. But that's another conversation for AMC later that we'll kind of talk about with all their commercials. But Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Negan, speeches, commentary when the shit hits the fan. Oh my God, that's a tiger! Holy shit, it's a tiger! Oh, that's Maggie. She's badass. Like, he was just pointing out there all the different things going on, and I was like, oh, he's our Howard Cosell of The Walking Dead. It was perfect while the fight's going on. And then as he flips the bird to Alexandra as he's driving out and gunfire's going through, it was just brilliant. Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Negan, perfect combination. Didn't see it from the beginning, but now he's there. Now he owns it. I can't wait to see more of him in season 8. As much as this was a Sasha episode, this was a Maggie episode. Maggie elevated herself to a number 2 character in the series. And she's been out of it for a while. She's been on the sidelines. But with her speech at the end, that was brilliant, and talked about the focus and where they were going in season 8 and the all-out war aspect of it and how they're going to take on Negan and the Saviors. The Hilltop is in good hands. Rick's got a solid number 2, if not a number 1. Maggie is a lot smarter than Rick. Rick is, because Rick's a guy, and he runs with emotion way more than Maggie. Maggie is cerebral, and she thinks about everything, and she's got a good heart, and she should be leading the group instead of Rick. But it's, The Walking Dead is Rick, and Rick is The Walking Dead. So until Rick is gone, Maggie's number 2. Sorry, Maggie. But I'm very excited to see where Maggie goes in next season and how she becomes a commander and starts leading the war and all these different chess pieces that are going to go show on. There was even a chess piece in the episode. So they hit you over the head sometimes. Sometimes they're too obvious what's going on. The one thing that angered me this episode, because everything was great. A lot of predictableness, a lot of action. Things kind of fell into place the way you thought they were going to do. But the one thing that didn't happen is no heels got killed. With the beginning of the season, with your gut just fucking pulled out of your system after what happened with the introduction of Negan and Lucille and dead bodies and brains everywhere, we needed, as fans, a heel to die. Somebody needed to die. That collector lady, she needed to go. Gregory from the Hilltop, you could have easily asked him. Dwight, we don't know what's going on with Dwight. But seriously, a heel should have died, and that would have been awesome, because everybody would have cheered. As a Walking Dead fan, you're like, so much hardship happened in this season, and we were dragged through the mud. But here's a knife in your side, and now you're dead, heel. And that didn't happen, and we didn't get our cheer moment. I hope we get a cheer moment in season 8, because it's gonna get ugly first. We're kind of on this high. We were down, people with baseball bats, dead. And then we're kind of moving our way back up to this high of where we are. Now we're like, okay, guns blazing, here we're going. But we didn't get a heel, because it would have taken us from here. And then we would have been able to come back down and justify, the war aspect of it. But, We need that cheer moment. You gotta give it to us, Walking Dead. Come on, Greg Nicotero. Give us our cheer moment in season 8. Hi, guys. I am emotionally spent with season 7. And I'm very excited to talk about the future of The Walking Dead and the comic book and other zombie happenings, whether it's film, TV, comic books, with you. If you like Zombie Monkeys, hit the subscribe button, shoot us a comment, give us a like, share on whatever social media platform we have. I'm very excited to bring multiple more episodes to you because we're on episode 2, but it's done. So next week's going to be episode 3. And what are we going to talk about? Because Walking Dead's over with. We're going to have to talk about something interesting. And I got a surprise for you. All right, guys, take care. I'm Matt Sardo, and this is Monkeys Fighting Robots.